Welcome everyone to today's Deep Words. These are deep conversations on AI with real world use cases, applications, expert insights, and thought provoking discussions. Today, we're going to be diving into a topic that many leaders and teams are grappling with right now: AI upskilling. With AI becoming a critical part of modern businesses, upskilling your team is essential. But there's a real challenge here: keeping your team engaged and excited about the learning while avoiding a burnout. Now, how do we do that? AI upskilling requires a new knowledge, new ways of thinking, and often a lot of time and effort. This can actually lead to exhaustion and stress if not managed well. In today's world, I'll share the strategies for helping your team to avoid the burnout while tackling the steep learning curve of AI skills. Let's dive in. Upskilling your team in AI can be an exciting opportunity for growth, but it can also be overwhelming for them. So let's start out by looking at why the upskilling is so challenging for many teams. The complexity of AI isn't like learning a new software tool. It's a whole new way of thinking. It involves understanding data science, machine learning algorithms, programming, and ethical considerations. Many team members may not have technical background. Number two is the pace of change. The AI field is evolving rapidly. New tools, new frameworks, and about 60,000 companies have been formed in the last 12 months on AI, and they're constantly emerging. Trying to keep up with this trend is like it's like running on a treadmill that's speeding up faster than you actually move. Existing workloads, in many cases, the teams are expected to upskill while still managing the regular workloads. Balancing ongoing projects and deadlines with learning new skills in parallel can quickly lead to feelings of overwhelm. It's like trying to juggle two full time jobs at once. There are ways to make sure that your team stays motivated, engaged, and healthy during this process. Before we dive into the solutions, it's important to recognize the signs of burnout. How do we identify that there is a burnout in the team? If you're aware of these signals early, you can actually address them before they become bigger problem. First of all, fatigue and low energy. If your team members seem constantly tired or drained even after the break, then it could be a sign that they are actually overextended. Learning new skills, especially something as complex as AI, can take a toll on mental energy. Decreased motivation. Are your team members losing enthusiasm, for their upskilling tasks that is required for them? A sudden drop in motivation or interest in learning AI could actually indicate that they're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. Increased mistakes or lack of focus in work. When people are stressed or burning out, their ability to concentrate on the work and do the work more accurately can actually suffer. If you notice more mistakes in their work, or if they seem distracted, it may be a sign that they're struggling to balance the upskilling part of AI and doing their existing work or the regular tasks. Then we have the irritability and frustration. Burnout can also manifest emotionally. Then we have irritability and frustration. Burnout can also manifest emotionally. If your team members seem short tempered or frustrated, especially with the tasks that they have been given to handle, it's actually a red flag that might be quite overwhelming. Now that we know what a burnout looks like, let's talk about how do we prevent burnout. Upskilling doesn't need to lead to a burnout. It can be fulfilling, exciting process if managed the right way. Here are some strategies that can help your team avoid burnout while learning AI in parallel. Number 1, set realistic expectations. One of the biggest mistakes that leaders are making today during the upskilling process is expecting too much too fast. AI is quite complex and learning it takes time. Set realistic expectations for your team. Don't expect them to become AI experts overnight or even in a few months. Break down the learning process into manageable chunks with milestones that feel achievable, and celebrate these wins. It's really important, even if it's small. Celebrate these small wins along the way so that your team feels a sense of progress without the pressure of trying to master everything at once. Number 2 is balancing the learning and their existing workload. Trying to juggle AI upskilling with your regular task is a recipe for burnout. You can't expect your team to pull in full time hours on the regular projects while also dedicating full time effort in learning AI. Help them find that balance by adjusting their workloads. For example, carve out specific times during the week that are dedicated to learning, specifically on AI, and reduce the pressure of the other deadlines during these periods. This actually gives them a mental space to focus on the learning without feeling overwhelmed. Next one is to encourage a growth mindset. AI upskilling can feel intimidating, especially for those who don't have a technical background. It's essential to foster a growth mindset within your team. A belief that they can actually develop new skills with effort and persistence is very, very important. Remind your team that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of learning. Create a culture where it's okay to struggle, it's okay to ask questions, and not getting things right the first time. The key is to keep learning and improving. A growth mindset helps reduces the fear of failure and keeps people engaged in the process. The next one is to provide the right learning resources. A lack of cleared structural learning materials can make the upskilling unnecessarily stressful, which is not needed. If your team is scrambling to find the right resources or struggling to understand the complex AI concepts, they will burn out very fast. I mean, because they don't even know what they're doing. Invest in high quality training materials, online courses, and tutorials that are suited for your team's level and expertise. Tailor the learning path for their needs and provide them the opportunities for hands on practicing of whatever they've learned. This way, the learning feels more like an engaging journey than a stressful obligation. Then you need to offer peer support and collaboration. Learning AI can actually feel isolating, and especially if your team members are doing it alone. Encourage collaboration and peer support with the rest of the organization. Create study groups, or mentorship programs within the organization so that the employees can actually work through the AI challenges together. They can share their knowledge and offer encouragement to each other. Sometimes just knowing what the others are experiencing the same struggles and can kind of reduce your feelings of overwhelm. Collaborative learning also creates a sense of community and helps build problem solving skills. We also need to promote work life balance. No matter how exciting AI's upskilling could be, it's crucial to promote the work life balance. Make sure that your team isn't sacrificing their personal time or health in the name of learning. Encouraging breaks, healthy habits, and time off to recharge themselves and come back stronger than they were before. A team that's well rested and energized is much more likely to engage in learning and avoid a burnout. Remember, a sustainable pace is better than a sprint that leads to exhaustion. Finally, you need to make regular check ins as part of your leadership approach. Don't wait until someone is visibly burnt out to address any potential issues that could be with an individual or within the team. Schedule one on one meetings with the team members to ask how they're feeling about their workload and the upskilling process. These check ins allow you to identify the stressors early, and then any additional support that you can give from the top or from the rest of the organization is critical, and adjust the learning plan as needed. It also shows that your team that you care about their well-being and you are committed to helping them succeed. So as a leader, you play a vital role in preventing a burnout. Your actions set the tone in terms of how your team is going to be approaching the AI upskilling. Here is how you can lead by example so that you can also create a very supportive environment. Number one is be transparent. Acknowledge that AI upskilling is challenging and be honest about the learning curve. It's not going to be easy, guys. Share your own experiences with learning these new technologies or managing complex projects. When your team sees that you understand their challenges, they will feel more supported and less isolated. Then we also need to model healthy habits. If you are always working late or skipping breaks, your team may feel like they need to do the same. So, you as a leader kind of need to model the healthy habits by prioritizing your own work life balance, taking the breaks, and setting the boundaries. When your team sees you managing your stress as well, then they actually feel empowered to do the same. Then we need to create an open feedback loop. Encourage open communication with your team where they are actually feeling very comfortable discussing their concerns and frustrations with you. So create a culture where feedback is welcome and act on it when necessary. If someone feels overwhelmed, then work together with them to adjust their workload or the overall learning path. So, before we conclude, AI upskilling is basically a very, very exciting opportunity, but it can also be a source of stress if not managed properly. It will clearly result to a burnout. So, by setting realistic expectations, balancing the workloads, fostering a growth mindset, and providing the right support, that you can help your team avoid the burnout and you can thrive in this overall AI learning journey. Remember, that successful upskilling is not about pushing people to the brink. It's about creating a sustainable yet engaging process that helps your team grow, prosper, and really do well. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Deepverse for more insights on AI, leadership, and team success. Until the next time, stay motivated, stay balanced, and keep learning. Thank you very much.